Howdy, y'all. My name is ChucklesTC, and welcome back to my Monoposto INDYCAR season. Where today we're going to be racing in the Bruschetta Bourbon, Bruschetta Bourbon Music City Grand Prix in Abu Dhabi. Sorry, had to think of the full name. Oops, some spoilers. Let's go to Chip Ganassi Racing. So Alex Pillow will be driving the Bud Light Honda, and Sir Scott Dixon will be in the Budweiser machine. We're at Andretti Global. We have Will Power in the Busch Light Lemon car. And Kyle Kirkwood is in the Bryant car. For Dale Coyne Racing, Grosjean's in the Natty Light car with Dennis Hauger in the Rockstar Energy car. For Meyer Shank, Marcus Armstrong is in the Wendy's machine with Rosenquist in his Indy 500 winning livery, the Morgan Walling car. Over at Ray Hall Letterman Lanigan, Mick Schumacher's in his usual scheme with Graham in his original Meyer colors. For AJ Foyt, Kayo's back in the Combatrans car, and Santino's back in the Bass Pro Shop car. Over at ECR, we have the alternate scheme for the FedEx machine that Rasmussen debuted last time out. And Rossi, and Rossi is in the Cracker Barrel colors. For at Hunko's, VK is still in the Advanced Auto Parts colors with Stingray Rob in the Agape Energy white. What's it called? In the whitest snow flavor. You see Isaiah 118 on the side there. For Aaron McLaren, you have this Velo style for Lundgaard. Closer to what he's running in real life this week. Over on Pato, you see the NTT data. For Team Penske, Scott McLaughlin is debuting the Black Buffalo colors. He's running the Black Buffalo mint pouches. Obviously a Ryan Blaney brand, but they are also just going to be at Penske. Over on David Malukas' car, we have another Menards Master Force. They won last time in this. And this is an alternate style to the Menards Master Force. And there will be a new one next week, too. That is the end of their original 3-race deal. And it's gotten off to a great start with them winning last time out. Over at Chuckles Clown Racing, Jimmy Johnson's in the Sargento colors. And at Dry and Reinbold, Jack Harvey's in the Grinds Cooler Ranch car. For Prema, Calamilot's in the Krispy Kreme. And last but not least, Robert Schwartzman is in the unsponsored Prema car. Could they really be struggling for sponsorship money? Let's wait and see. Here's your championship standing. Scott McLaughlin has a 2-point lead over Pato Award in the championship standings. Alex Plows on third, Kyle Kirkwood fourth, and David Malukas. He's tied with David Malukas in fifth. Then 10 points back to Will Power. Scott Dixon still on a roll. And VK 1 point behind him in eighth. Then Ferrucci ninth, Rosenquist in 10th. That is all the drivers in the hundreds of points. Let's go on now to qualifying here in Abu Dhabi. Or Asheville. And there will be some breaking news after this qualifying session. One you're going to want to hear. And it will affect the course of the season next year. Actually, I might put it on screen now during the warm-up laps. So, it has been announced, INDYCAR will be going to a race in Alaska at Glacial Alaskan Raceway Park, or Glacial Alaska Raceway Park. It has 3 different course designs: a 1.25 mile oval, it has a 3.6 mile 7 turn road course, and a 11-mile road course, which they will not be running. But while we cannot introduce new ones, it has been announced that INDYCAR will be going there next season, and it will replace this spot from Nashville, because Nashville will be in the Emilia-Romagna spot in the future. So, if that makes sense, Alaska is here, and then Emilia-Romagna will be where Nashville takes place at. Scott Dixon, the first car on a hot lap now, as we talk about it. But so this is going to be replaced by a different oval next year, which is exciting. And it is the first original track that I'm doing, which means I'm coming up with all the sponsorship and everything. But the current plan is for INDYNXT to go with them as well for this big race. And obviously we have to do it at some point around here in the summer where it's warm enough to race up there, you know, over the course of the season, realistically. And they want to, in the next few years, they also would like to introduce a the road course, the 3.6 mile road course. So hopefully things change and I can import track models in the future, like even a year or 2 down the road. I don't need terrain changes, I just would like to be able to import my own track models. Scott Dixon currently leading the rest. His fastest lap right now is a 1 minute 1.167 second lap. McLaughlin 7 seconds off the pace still. Lundgaard, second fastest right now, 1.25 seconds off the pace. Lucas just at the fastest sector 2. Palou right now is on a hot lap. So you have what it takes to knock Dixon off. There you see Kirkwood racing next to him. No one seems to have that pace right now. VK will be coming up to the line in just a second. There you see they have brought back the track map and actually made it a little bit different. This is cool to see. VK now, where will he go? VK to 6th. Palou now to the line. He'll go P3 as Malukas went P1. 0.222 seconds faster than Scott Dixon's fastest lap. And we have a yellow flag in Sector 3. It is Marcus Armstrong, who is wrecked out of qualifying, and Willpower as well. Very disappointing. Marcus Armstrong will now start last for the race. Willpower will not start last as he got a lap in. But it will be interesting. Jimmy Johnson is the only car right now on a hot lap. How does that affect him, if at all? Off track a bit there for JJ. Two more corners to go. And Jimmy Johnson's going to come through and qualified P21 right now for Nashville. Rasmussen still has not set a lap time with 2 minutes and 20 seconds left to go in qualifying here. The lead car on track appears to be Jack Harvey. Where's he running right now? So he goes into the pits. Let's see, is that Palou? final track. No, that's Dixon out on a hot lap here. It's either him or one of the promos that's the first one actually on track. It's Callum Ilott. Is going to be the first one to start his second lap, I believe. So we'll watch here, but I mean, a decent qualifying result right now for Ilott, P13. It's in the, or it's, you're the first car in the second half of the field, but I'm more focused on this guy. Scott Dixon, can he gain that extra 0.2 of a second to claim pole position here? We'll have to work his way around a little bit of traffic, though. Kirkwood now on a hot lap. VK on an outlap. If you're not on an outlap now, so you barely have enough time to get on one before your time is out, and it really depends on how fast you can get around the track. Here comes Dixon. Let's get a different view. I don't want the onboard. There we go. Scott Dixon now in the final sector. Will he gain any time? How's Ilott doing? Will he improve at all? And he's actually caught up to Ilott so incredibly quickly. Unless that was Schwartzman that he caught up to. Scott Dixon does not improve his lap time. And that was Schwartzman that he had caught up to, not Ilott. But Ilott also does not improve. Here we have Dennis Hauger, who just started a hot lap here. He's currently sitting down in P20. 16 seconds left to go. Everyone's either starting or already on their final lap. VK will get one more lap. Who will be the last car to hit the timing line? Will Stingray make it? 4, 3. Oh, wait, he's on. Okay, Stingray will be the first car to cross the line to take the checkered. His lap's P13. Rossi was in the pits. Lundgaard was in the pits. Jimmy Johnson was in the pits. David Malukas will come across the line and currently be P1 with a 1 minute and 0.944 second lap. Laps are being checked off. I don't see anyone going faster right now than Lil Dave. VK, the fastest running car right now on a hot lap. He goes off track a bit there. He will get around Rosenquist and around the final turn now for Renus VK. Alex Palou set the fastest sector too, but I do not believe he's on a flyer. VK will stay down in 8th. McLaughlin now. We have McLaughlin and Grosjean and Schumacher left to go. Schumacher currently in 12th. Grosjean in 17th. And, okay. Now, qualifying has now ended. Your NTT P1 award will go to David Malukas with pole time of 1 minute and 0.944 seconds. Starting second is going to be Scott Dixon. Third, Christian Lundgaard. Fourth, Alex Palou. Fifth, Pato Award. Sixth, Felix Rosenquist. Seventh, Santino Ferrucci. Eighth, just like in real life, Renus VK. In ninth, Kyle Kirkwood. 10th, Will Power. 11th, Alexander Rossi. 12th, Mick Schumacher. 13th, Stingray Robb. 14th, Callum Ilott. 15th, Christian Rasmussen. 16th, Robert Schwartzman. 17th, Ramon Grosjean. 18th, Graham Rahal. 19th, Jack Harvey. 20th, Kyle Collette. 21st, Dennis Hauger. 22nd, Jimmy Johnson. 23rd, Scott McLaughlin. And 24th, Marcus Armstrong with no time set. It's now on to the race. We've already gone through the starting grid, so let's head straight to the race. We're going to start Schwartzy on the soft compound tire, trying to get him to move up. He's starting back in 16th. But here as the lights go off, waiting on little Dave. And he's off. Very similar to real life, where he's the fastest this weekend in Nashville. I'm recording this before the race for once. But unlike real life, in real life he's going to be starting at the back of the field because he wrecked Will we see all the cars survive the opening lap here in Nashville? For the Bruschetta Bourbon Grand Prix, there we see Kyle Kirkwood trying to make a big move. So we saw a lot of incidents in the INDYNXT race. Also in my personal simulations, getting ready for this race, I saw multiple cars flip throughout the track. Nearly contact there between Kirkwood and Ferrucci. Rahal now making a couple moves. Ooh. So light contact there, no penalties assessed. Ooh, and we have a caution sector 3. Alex Palou and Christian Lundgaard are around. They will both get going again, it appears. No, Lundgaard is still turned around. He was running at the front of the field on an oval. He qualified great. I believe he was in 3rd. Now he's down in 24th, maybe gonna have to try to turn this to a strategy play for the number 7 crew at Arrow McLaren. Scott Dixon right now, the only one within 5 seconds of David Malukas, and he's within half a second. Those two have pulled away. Lundgaard was running in 3rd, Palou was in 4th because that is where the gapage is. And they backed up who's now in 4th, Rosenquist. Palou dropped down to 7th and all that. VK has dropped down to 12th after the opening lap, 19 seconds behind the leaders. So this is where a safety car could be big. If we have a safety car early on, that'll just group everyone back together, and they'll be fighting. Speaking of which, Scott Dixon's taken the lead from David Malukas, the pole sitter. And Scott Dixon just set the fastest lap of the race. But if we get a safety car early on in this race, it doesn't do much. But if the gaps build and Dixon and Malukas are able to run away with it and be apart, say that is Dixon is 3 seconds ahead of Malukas here. Then the later it comes, Dixon and Malukas are at much more of a disadvantage. Ooh, VK has retired again. No, he took out his teammate in Stingray Rob. The safety car is deployed like I was talking about. They're going to penalize VK on it. You see Stingray in that brand new white as snow Agape Energy livery is done. But do we see your Renus VK or your Christian Lundgaard come to the pits here? If I'm VK, I am. See, I'm already 3 laps in on these tires. Throw on a set of hards, try to go 11 laps on them. Maybe wait a lap. We're under a safety car. We're going the full stint of the safety car. So what's the harm in waiting a whole lap? Or even 2 laps. Wait until you get the one to go. Then go switch up, throw on your softer tire or your medium tire and have it be fresher for longer. Ow. I don't think it's a bad play at all. And then you get to serve your penalty. You see a lot of people already coming to the pits now. So this might be your shot. Your leader pulled him to the pits. He threw on hard tires. He's trying to go to the end. Rosenquist, Kirkwood, both trying to go to the end. You're trying to go to the end. If you don't have a lot of cars behind you coming in the pits, you might be screwed. You have a decent enough lead right now. You might be okay. See, serve that penalty. He's going to come out just ahead of Kyle Collette, and that's it. So VK is going to exit the pits down in 22nd position on hard tires. He will not have to stop again. About half the cars in front of him will be stopping again. Malukas, Pato, Ferrucci, Palou, Power, Schumacher, Eilot, Hauger, Rahal, McLaughlin, Lundgaard, all yet to pit. But VK down in 22nd, a lot of cars to pass. And we're only going to have maybe 10 laps left in this race. Hopefully they'll get back or bunch back up before the safety car is over. Okay, I was just checking something real quick. Still our under safety car here. We have a couple more cars coming to the pits. Dixon's one spot behind Pillow. BK's going to move up into P19 here. Where did Malukas fall to with his pit stop? In waiting a lap, David Malukas has fallen down to P20. So if Malukas gets back in this fight, I'd say there's a decent shot of Renus VK getting back in it. Dixon is has a whole nother advantage over the rest of the field. And I miscounted earlier because we still have Harvey, Armstrong, Rasmussen, Grosjean, Johnson. They also haven't pitted. The same with Lundgaard, Ray Hall, Eilot, Schumacher, Pillow, Ferrucci, and Pato. If you haven't pit by now, I'd say your chances are fairly low to win. Especially with everyone going on the hard compound tire. That tells me that a two-stopper is not... it's just not on the cards here, and that's fine. The only way two-stoppers on the cards is with a red flag or, safety cars, where you've already gained an advantage. Right now, only 3 people who haven't pit are ahead of the first guy who pit. And he pit under caution, mind you. One of those being his teammate, one of them being a guy who hasn't won a race, and the other is on a winless streak. It'll be interesting to see how this plays out, but it's looking like it's all setting up for Scott Dixon win. You look down in the top 10, 3 more people who have never won a race in their career: Schumacher, Eilot, Kirkwood. The safety car is ending this time by, though. Pato will lead him to green. I'm not sure why that went on sleep mode. It needs to be on. Well, we will watch them as they go to green. This time by, see as well, the map has been fixed. Not sure if I brought that up in the qualifying segment. We'll watch Pato here as he hits the line. And we're back green. BK is pulled out of line, trying to make up some positions. McLaughlin getting racy. But that's not McLaughlin, that's Malukas. Dixon sitting comfortable in 4th. Armstrong trying to get racy there with Jack Harvey and get into the top 10. First driver who hasn't pit yet on hards is Rasmussen. And he was just passed by Rosenquist. Him and Rosenquist are battling. Collette just moved up 2 positions over Hauger and McLaughlin. And we have a safety car. Yeah. Ooh. Big impact back there. That was Schwartzman stuck in it. That was Grosjean and Malukas. So maybe it's not all good luck. BK was caught up in that as well. He just clipped it. Let's try to take a look at the front, see if there's any damage to that number 76. Advanced Auto Parts Chevy. I can't get a look and see. Rossi is going to put on soft tires. He's back in P20. But it is interesting. Malukas was making up ground. VK's now in P13. So it might not be the end of the day. That was about where he was when he wrecked Stingray. We'll give Pato a chance to pit this time by when he hits the line. If he pits, we'll give them another lap under caution and wait until the leader does not pit. There you see Schwartzy. I mean, tough break for him. You'll see McLaughlin running in P17. His championship rival is into the pits now from P2. So we will be going one more time around. Dixon had gotten up into second place through all that on pure pace. Now they're going to have to try to rival that. There you see Jimmy Johnson in line for a top 10 right now, and he'll be promoted up into the top 10. VK is going to pull out right behind Pillow, who's going on a double yellow strategy right now. And next time by, we are going green. Scott Dixon will lead the field to green. Malukas as well was blamed with that for that collision on Grosjean. I believe it. The way that they went in there. So now on lap 8, we're past halfway. Your running order is Scott Dixon leads the field. Then it's Felix Rosenquist and Christian Rasmussen, only driver yet to pit. Or the top driver yet to pit. Then Kyle Kirkwood, Jack Harvey, Marcus Armstrong, Pato Award, the first on this stint of tire. Jimmy Johnson, Will Power, Alex Plow in 10th. He just came out of the pits on medium tires, the first driver on medium tires. Then it's Renus VK in 11th, Santino Ferrucci, Dennis Hauger, Callum Ilott, Kyle Collette, Mick Schumacher, Scott McLaughlin, Christian Lundgaard, Graham Rahal, Alexander Rossi, first and only driver on softs, Robert Schwartzman, and then Romain Grosjean, David Malukas, and Stingray Robb all out. And one more corner to go, and we will restart. Scott Dixon will lead them to green. Will he be able to get another win for Chip Ganassi Racing? Let's find out. Scott Dixon leads them down into turn 1. They were getting side by side back through the field. Pato Award trying to win in that NTT Data car. VK drops a position to Ferrucci. He'll get it back and set his eyes on Will Power. Flow with the advantage on that slightly softer tire than the rest of this top 10. As he'll overtake Jimmy Johnson there. Pillow is going to be a force to be reckoned with, but so is Scott Dixon, who's already pulled out to a 2-second lead over Felix Rosenquist. Scott Dixon just set the fastest Sector 2 as we'll watch and see if the field can finally make it through all of Sector 3 and complete a full clean lap. Following Kirkwood, now he's in 4th, and a safety car will be deployed back in the field. It's Renus VK and Christian Lundgaard. And Schwartzman was way behind the pack. He had pit last time by. Back-to-back DNFs for VK. Lundgaard, not the finish you wanted here. It's very interesting there. They didn't throw the red flag, so we won't. Next time by, Scott Dixon will restart this field. And if there's another safety car, it will be red flag. Once the leader crosses the line to set the next lap, unless it is on the final lap, then we might give them a 1-lap restart. I'm not sure. It'll all be in the moment. Scott Dixon started second today. Hasn't been involved in any incidents. played the strategy right, was in on the first incident and hasn't looked back since. And, oh, didn't see this coming. The leaders are pitting. We will wait one more lap to restart it. Dixon gets held up by Rosenquist. Rasmussen comes in as well. And will Dixon stay in the lead? No, Kirkwood and Pato and then Pillow will pass him. Dixon should have gone on soft tires. Rossi and Rasmussen, a pair of ECR cars, both on soft tires. Rossi's going to have to pit in the middle of this upcoming stint. Like I said, we are restarting next time at the line to Kyle Kirkwood, unless Kyle Kirkwood pits. The leader chooses. I can't see any reason to pit this time by when you were the lead Andretti. And where's Willpower? Willpower did pit. You could have gone in and out before Willpower hit the pit lane, though. Schwartzman still leagues behind the rest of the field and has not put in a full lap at all. And I don't even think we've seen a full lap at speed, maybe one. And barely one. Now 5 cars out of the race. Double DNF for Juncos Hollinger Racing. Not what you want to see there. Especially when you might be fighting to keep both your charters at your team. If Brian Reinbold is planning on relocating, or Enable Motorsports, who we already know is entering, could Juncos be at risk? Or could Hollinger sell off one of the charters and buy the team himself in full? It'll be interesting. Right now, Kyle Kirkwood around the final turn. He goes to the pits. And we'll do it one more time around under caution. Pato Ward will advance to the lead. Pillow in second. Dixon in third. Jimmy Johnson up into 5th place. They're so compact and so tight. I wish we could have restarted that time by, but you know, I've set the precedent. The leader restarts it. Which means we're going to have a restart on lap 13. I guess unless Pato pits. But if there is a caution on lap 13, we will throw the red flag at time of caution, and that will be it. If the leader hits lap 14, I guess it's just going to all be due to who or when or if. It might not happen. But right now, if I'm looking at the top 5, and I am, Pato Ward 4-lap-old hard tires. Alex Pillow 4-lap-old medium tires. Sir Scott Dixon 1-lap-old medium tires. Fastest lap of the race. Has led most of them. Started P2. Santino Ferrucci 4-lap-old hard tires. Jimmy Johnson 12-lap-old hard tires. If I'm Jimmy Johnson, I'm going to be lucky to finish this race. If I'm Pato Ward, I'm going to be lucky to win this race. Scott Dixon has 3-lap newer tires, a whole compound softer. If I'm Alex Pillow, I'm thinking the same thing. 3-lap newer tires, same compound, but 3 laps newer. 3 laps faster. Your hard tires, if you're Pato, haven't entered their prime yet. Your prime isn't when you put on the hard tires. There's a middle ground in there where they're as fast as the mediums. And those hard tires aren't there on lap 4. Pillow's tires aren't as fast as the new mediums, though. New mediums are the fastest tires in the top 10. The only driver with tires to combat it is Kirkwood and Rasmussen, way down in 11th and 17th. I guess Fro in 7th with new medium tires. We will remove the safety car here. As they're green heading into turn 1, Pato Award will still lead. But Pelot's looking greedy as ever, and Dixon not willing to go down without a fight. But it's a 1-second gap from Pato back to Scott Dixon. At least for Pato, you know you have a buffer car in between you two. If his teammate, if Pelot can slow up Dixon enough, Pato could be safe here. We have to hope the rest of the field plays it safe, too. Pelot makes a small mistake there, and that sets up Scott Dixon. Amazingly, Kyle Kirkwood, why are we watching him? What moves are being made? Oh, the safety car will be deployed. Red flag. I didn't call it. Who was it? Robert Schwartzman, Dennis Hauger, Will Power, Alexander Rossi. It's a 4-car pilot. Oh, I wish I could see that. Pelot pits. Pato and Dixon do not. Why are you not pitting and putting on soft tires? If the AI throws another red flag, we're still on lap 13. I am personally not going to officiate a red flag. Dixon falling back to Ferrucci. But Pelot out front instantly. Do we see a clean lap? Jimmy Johnson got a free pit stop, though. He's in 5th. Dixon up into 2nd, but it's a 2-second gap. Armstrong almost contact there with Rahal. And the virtual safety car's out as Callum Ilott is retired from this race. So Alex Pelot will take the white flag. Next flag should end the race. Scott Dixon 2 seconds behind. As we have our 10th retirement from this race. Rosenquist just set the fastest Sector 1 after being involved in that incident with Ilott. Oh, Dixon, huge off track. Oh, and Dixon's going to wreck. They're going to display the safety car. Ooh. And this is how it's going to end. Huge last lap crash. A Santino Ferrucci podium. Ladies and gentlemen, if they had red flagged that, Santino Ferrucci might have won this race. I almost did red flag it. I realized it's the final lap. Alex Pelot, the Spaniard. Could this be a sign for later on today? He'll come through and win, much like Spain will try to win the World Cup. It's going to be Santino Ferrucci, Pato Award, Jimmy Johnson, Jack Harvey, Christian Rasmussen, Mick Schumacher, Kyle Kirkwood, Graham Rahal, Marcus Armstrong, Kyle Collette, Mick Schumacher, that's Scott McLaughlin, and Felix Rosenquist. What a race! And here is your podium for the Bruschetta Bourbon Music City Grand Prix presented by Only Bulls here in Nashville. In third place, the Mexican driver racing for Aero McLaren, Pato Award. In second place, the American driver racing for AJ Foyt Racing, Santino Ferrucci. And in first place, the Spaniard racing for Chip Ganassi Racing. What a surprise. It's Alex Palou. Then here is the rest of your top 10. Like I said, Jimmy Johnson in fourth. Great day for the partnership that Ryan Reinbold and CTC Racing have. And great way to show off that partnership that you have. You put your drivers fourth and fifth. That is great points. Maybe the first double points that team has had, since in this they are grouped together for team points. Really incredible job there. Like I said, Jack Harvey in fifth, Hollywood there. Christian Rasmussen comes home with a sixth place for ECR. Mick Schumacher in seventh, double points for RLL at this track, which has given them a lot of trouble. Then Kyle Kirkwood comes in eighth. Not great for how he was running all day, but honestly, in this race, you were just lucky to make it to the end. Graham Rahal in ninth. Very impressed with how he performed through this race. Marcus Armstrong comes home in 10th place. Great way to salvage a point for your team and for yourself on a day where a lot of competitive drivers did not get any points. Kyle Collette will come home 11th, just outside of what would have been a great finish and a double points day for AJ Foyt Racing. Scott McLaughlin in 12th. Way to make it to the end. He came in the points leader. Based off of how two of his competitors finished, I don't think he's going to be there anymore. Then Rosenquist in third. Lucky to not DNF. He was involved in a wreck on the second to last lap that brought out a red flag with Callum Ilott. Scott Dixon. The final DNF of the race, P14. Crashed on the final lap while P2 to his teammate. Callum Ilott taken out in a wreck with Felix Rosenquist. And then from here, all the results are jumbled because that's when the red flag came out. I forget the order. Everything happened. But Willpower, Robert Schwartzman, Dennis Hauger, and was it Lundgaard? I don't know. I forget what it was. There was a big 4-car accident. There was VK taking out Stingray Rob very early on. Grosjean and Malukas took each other out. Malukas getting the blame for that one. It was a very crazy race. And here is your point standings after today. Still tied for last in the points. A lot of ties going on as you go up. So in 10th place in the point standings, you have Felix Rosenquist. In 9th, Renus VK. In 8th, Sir Scott Dixon by 1 point. In 7th, Will Power. In 6th, Santino Ferrucci. He moved up quite a bit with his 2nd place today. In 6th, David Malukas. He's gaining points quickly, but he needs to stack some more results. Kyle Kirkwood is in 4th. In 3rd place with 173 points is Scott McLaughlin. In 2nd place with 183 points, your new 2nd place is Alex Palou. And in 1st place with 186 points is Pato Award. 3 points separate 1st and 2nd, 10 points to 2nd and 3rd. And then it's going to be 28 8 points back to 4th. Still a bit of a gap for them to overcome. Then 4th to 17th is going to be about 38 points. As we head to the main lobby here, we know that next time out we are going to be in Italy, Torque Valley. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please like and subscribe. And come back next time to see that race in Italy. Thank you all, and goodbye.